Good morning, everybody. The minute here, Pedro and I get the show started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great show that Pedro and I call DYOR Live. What's going on today? BTC is chilling right up at 122. Markets are chilling. Not a lot going on today. You know who else is chilling? Mr. Pedro Garcia in the house over here, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro's going to be bringing us BTC in just a moment. But before that, I want to thank everyone for joining in today and watching the show. If you could start out right away by dropping us. Let's see if my new graphic works here. New following. Yes, please click the following button. And it's supposed to say like button too, but it didn't do that. Let's just, and my arm is half fading out too today. I'm wearing a black shirt. I don't know why. There we go. Please hit that like button. There we go. Like and follow. Yes, thank you very much. That's the latest graphics having to do with DYOR Live. Anyway, as I said, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking. The man in the box next to me is Mr. Pedro Garcia. The man in the box on this side of me is Mr. Donald Trump. He is not our guest today. He's just on another TV show, but thanks to everyone for joining in. Pedro, what is going on in the world of Bitcoin this morning?
Nothing much. It is doing its thing. It's like, what's my name? What? Say it again? But in my life, things are going awesome. I have a new crush. I like long walks, and I like talking while sunsets are happening, and I like saying, hey, pull my finger. All right, next. And my
it sounds like
right now,
it sounds like you're gonna say, I thought you were gonna say, and I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Well, everybody knows that.
Well, everybody does know that.
But apart from that, my biggest crush right now is BTC. Let's go! At that moment, and I have something in the background right here. If you look at my thing that I have, can you see it? It's this famous video. Anyways, we'll go into it later. But basically,
there it is. It looks like the urinal scene.
The bathroom. Yeah, in the guy's bathroom, right? 15 million of those, and then the guy comes and stands right next to you, and you're like, bro, really,
bro?
Should I pee on your foot, bro?
It's like me in that movie theater in Los Angeles a long time ago.
All right, so X-nay on that. All right, so check it out. So we saw BTC really pushing up this week. We talked about it kind of seeing a sell-off, but the reality is it is wanting to pump it up. We talked about it getting up to that 130.
Oh, the Chinese got to Pedro's internet connection again. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back.
Is it there?
Should be good now.
Alrighty then, check it out, guys. All right, so right now, real quick, BTC is pulling back to the 8 period moving average. Also got a nice little demand zone right here. Now it closed above the all-time high here, which is what I always talk about. It's what we want to see, close above the high, and then boom, we want to see it pull back, find support on either a demand zone and or where the previous supply was a moving average, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now, as you can see here. So it's looking pretty dapper here, like my new haircut. Boop, beep. As my nurse said to me yesterday, you look like a different person. It's amazing how your hair changes the way you look. I'm like, I never realized it, but I always thought I was better looking with, and people would laugh. People would be like, dude, you look better. There's no way you'd be better looking with short hair. Lo and behold, bing, bing. Thank you, Jesus. Appreciate it. All right, next. So, all right. What I'm expecting here real quick is I want to see today, I want to see it close above either at least this area right here, okay? And the reason why I say that is because that's going to show me that there is good volume that wants to continue this rally. I want to see volume also get around here, around the highs of yesterday's previous day, if not even higher, somewhere around here would be even better if we could see volume pop in at those levels. So we're going to watch it and see, but as we kind of narrow down into the smaller time frames, you can see here that 50 period moving average is really what's holding us on the 4-hour period here. And also that 1 hour here, you can see here, wants to play off of the 200 period moving average. So we're going to be paying attention to those as we move. If you're going to be looking to day trade this, do not short this. Okay, as I clap to make a point, do not short this. Make sure you guys go long, because with that, if you short this, it's just going to get frustrating for you. Okay, it's going to be hard. You have a better chance of getting the longs and making money versus shorting and try to capture a really strong sell-off, which might happen. I would encourage go long, and then you'll have an easier time with your trade. And if you're starting to show weakness, which many of you, I tell you, if it's moving up with no demand wicks and dropping in volume, that means the end of the move is happening. That's it in a nutshell. Thank you for coming. Appreciate every one of you guys. I'll be back. I'll be here all day.
Try the veal.
Try the veal. Hey.
Well, I designed a new pricing graphic over there, and it tested fine. And then when I started the show, it's all jacked up over here. So I'll be fixing that while we're talking. But anyway, I'm going to take the quick moment here to thank everybody that's watching. Connect Me One is watching. Thanks, go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, that was Crypto Unicorns. Connect Me One says whoop whoop in Pedro style. Pedro Garcia says let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Fire Chicken says BTC making a little move right now. Yes, Pedro was just going over that. Of course, Dr. Fire Chicken says, what up, what up, what up, what up? And I have this. Earlier, Pedro, you said, are there any technical issues? And I said, no, everything's fine.
Oh, no.
Well, your audio fails, and then my great new pricing graphic is all jacked up, and then the comments are now up by your chin instead of down on the bottom. But anyway, Fire Chicken says, nice BTC update.
Wow, thank you. I've been trying to just nail real quick, 5 minutes, that's it, that's all, be out, and then come back later. And Tom has literally been screaming at me for 2 years. Like, bro, why can't you just do a simple 5-minute Cinco de Pedro? That's all you need to do.
Right, that was a Cinco de Pedro there for BTC. But for those of you that are not in the know, we have this little timer system now, and I've been attempting to keep Pedro on track for a while. And yesterday, we had it going wonderfully too. And not yesterday, 2 days ago, and he just blew right through it.
Blew right through it.
I can make it blink and all that. I have like a separate monitor up here. I have like a little square monitor that's it's counting down. It's still telling me, Pedro and I, about minute 34 to BS here with the audience and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So much knowledge, hard to wedge in just 5 minutes. That's why we have the extended talk following the audience interaction segment.
Oh, yeah.
It even says it right on the thing. It says chat with audience, social media talk, and then the next 11-minute block is other market review, cryptos, etc. Whatever we want to talk about. How about that? We are somebody now. All we need is the audience now. But we do have a bunch of you watching on Rumble. Today we're podcasting on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, and X. And so thank you to everybody watching us on LinkedIn. As I always say, the LinkedIn comment machine's a little wonky, doesn't work well because Microsoft is always tinkering with LinkedIn's code. So come on over to Rumble or YouTube and watch us. Just search DYOR Media and you'll find our live stream, no problem. Come on over, visit us. I really appreciate it. And for the rest of you out there watching on Rumble, we always need people to chat. That chat rate is important to us. So if you're just watching, working, you got us in your back pocket, I'm talking about you, Brando, Commando, and Mikester. Just give us a quick chat. Hey, how you doing? And if some of you haven't watched us before, go ahead and sign up for Rumble. I actually have a graphic for that. I have a graphic for it to sign up for Rumble, and it's right here. Join Rumble here, right with that QR code over next to Pedro there. Click your phone up there, hold it, pop it like it's hot, as Pedro
like
say.
It's hot, like it's hot.
Like it's hot, Pedro. But anyway, I missed this, but I'm going to I'm going to take this opportunity to read an ad and get that moving and grooving here right from the beginning. Let's look for a sports one, the high-priced ones. Nope, no sports ones today. We'll just do, you know what? We'll talk about in fact, we'll use that QR code there to talk about Rumble Premium, ladies and gentlemen. You've probably noticed that Rumble is growing and it's not slowing down. Growing fast, not slowing down. They're bundling a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus video, behind-the-scene drops, and more from your favorite creators like Pedro and I. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That's the deal. Also, there's a register button down here if you're watching on Rumble platform. You can always click that. That helps Pedro and I out greatly. You can still use the promo code STUDIO to get $10 off. If you're watching on your big screen right now, hold your cell phone up right now and click this QR code right next to me here. It'll take you right to Rumble to sign up and save that $10. If you're watching on your phone or tablet, in the chat section, there's a link that says Learn More. And if you're watching on the replay, in the description below, there will be a link. I don't know if this QR code will be here on the replay or not, but it'll be there. Plenty of ways. Thanks to Rumble for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right, ladies and germs, let's get back to the business here. Pedro's got urinals behind him today. Oh, my ticker isn't working.
People don't realize how important urinals are. Life would be very, very, very... Actually, no, not urinals. That would be toilets. Life would be very hard without toilets.
There's many millions of years in which humans did not have toilets, and so they made do. Dun-dun-dun.
Yes.
Welcome, Crypto Mike in the house. What up, y'all? Tried Rumble, but it was choppy. Had to come back here for the day. Well, thank you very much for joining us. If Mike, if you could just give us a chat on Rumble to get the chat interaction going there. The pre-rolls are good. Love me a pre-rolled infused joint. Now that's a pre-roll.
Hey, come and nailed that one, bro. Nailed it.
Fire Chicken's got to do some fiat mining, then he'll be right back. Anyway, let's continue to talk about Bitcoin really quick, Pedro, to let everyone know when you were out yesterday, and I did a little bit of talking yesterday about Bitcoin. Let me bring my and I got too many windows open today. I'm surprised this machine's even working.
There you go.
Not that one.
Glad it's working though.
This one. Let me bring Tom's screen up. All right. So yesterday we were talking about the price action being above and below the 200 period moving average, and what I was waiting to happen. Pedro, yesterday the market was coming down here, and I couldn't even find any news. It was just coming down. I guess the market maker said, "Let's bring it down and liquidate everybody." But I talked to people about how one of the things I like to do is wait for it to come back up above the 200 period moving average. And I have the 1 minute chart up, but I told it in the context of it can be 1 minute, can be the 5 minute, can be the 15 minute, whichever time period you're trading. And so what I tried to do was try to kind of predict what was going to happen. And I said that yesterday around 5 o'clock yesterday, it would probably come back up through Eastern time, the 200 period moving average, and then the 8 and the 21 would also. And it did it early. It did it early at 3 p.m. All of a sudden, the market decided to reverse itself, and it went up above it for a small. If I was in the market, I would have taken a small trade there, but it didn't. Let me rephrase that. But what it also did is if you stayed in the trade, it would have gone up and broke the 5 minute 200 period moving average as well. And I was explaining to the audience how this worked and why I like to trade it. And I did that because the other day Patrick was giving me grief about the 1 minute chart. And I was like, hey, I know I get a 1 minute chart, but what I learned on it I can apply to really any time frame as a trade setup. And the market did essentially what I thought it would do. Simply not because I was a genius, simply because it's a pattern that repeats itself on the 1 minute chart about 5 times a day. And so it's easy to backtest, something that repeats itself so often. Like I said, not always guaranteed, but I was demonstrating to the audience how that's how I thought it would work out. And if you stayed in the trade, you'd be up from 121.4 right now to 122.7. So you'd be up about 1,300 points or dollars or whatever, however you want to phrase it for Bitcoin. Yeah, so I thought to myself, I was like, I'm learning. And then the other thing I went over real quick, sorry to take up your time talking about crypto here. I was talking about our monthly prediction for October and how what I have highlighted here with that arrow, that was the first week where we talked about it going up. And then that if it was going to go up and then down and then up and down and finish the month going up, it had to do a bunch of intermediary things. And how week number 2 right now is kind of following the plan for going down this week. We'll see if it shapes up or if we have to modify the plan and all that. And so I went over that, talked about it at length, just to give the audience some background to what I was thinking. And as I said on the show yesterday, by me talking about it helps me learn about it better. And so I went through my thought process and did that. So anyway, that's what we spoke about yesterday about Bitcoin. That was it. That's all I had on that.
I like it. I like it a lot. Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
key point is...
No, go ahead. Sorry.
The key point is this: is really just you finding what works for you, right? And then just developing it over and over. Right. Going out and just refining your style. That's the key in trading, is that each person has their own. Oh, you cannot hear me.
No, everyone can hear you. We're good. Oh. I'm just fixing the pricing thing while you're talking.
Okay, but can you guys see me as well? Can they see me?
Nope. No, just give me 5 seconds, but they can hear you if you keep talking.
So, one of the things I think is so important to understand is, and when you're learning how to trade, right, there's not necessarily one system to play. Each person is different. Key point, though, is to know how to really identify when trend is happening, if it's going up or going down or going sideways. 2, being able to distinguish when a reversal is happening. And then in additionally to that, when is the reverse happening, when to enter on the reverse, and where's your stop need to be, right? Those key areas and with your trade idea is important to develop. And as you keep doing this, you keep journaling, you keep thinking about it, you journal as much as you can think about that trade. That's what you want. Your idea about it is what's most important, right? Whether you win or lose, if you've executed it the way you decide you want to execute it, that's what's important. You want to journal that, because as you journal that, you'll realize, oh, that's false. That's a wrong way of looking at this, because every time I do this, it only goes maybe 5 or 10 points in my direction and then reverses on me and goes up. And so this is where you can work out whether it's trending or it's reversing, or is it is it just going to go sideways? And so in journaling that's what allows you to be able to sit there and really get the concept of trading. It's really a systematic system, doing the same thing over and over and over, and then through subtle changes, you really hit your target, basically becoming a consistent trader. And that's really the heart of a trader, is how to be the most consistent they can be by doing the same thing over and over and over, and then tweaking it to the point where you're nailing it every day. So it's so important. So I agree with what you're saying there, my friend. 100%.
Nail it. Oh, hold on while I just adjust this light here.
Nailed it. Alrighty then.
Pedro, did you know that apparently gambling is becoming more popular than trading Ford stock or General Electric stock or Boeing stock. Can you believe this? Can you believe that that the New York Stock Exchange would invest in a gambling site?
Very much.
To the tune of $2 billion. $2 billion with a B, not with an M, a B. $1 billion.
Absolutely.
And let me bring this article up here, which I found when I heard this. I was like, well, it makes perfect sense. But then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute. Morning Minute: Polymarket raises $2 billion, making it a $9 billion valuation from its New York Stock Exchange parent. Crypto majors. Wait. Blah, blah, blah. Where's the article? It looks like recent rumors for Polymarket were true. Thinking of the Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump, whichever one is the Trump family investment of $300 million just a couple of weeks ago, it seems like. I can't even imagine what that's worth now. That's got to be worth over $1 billion or $2. But the New York Stock Exchange parent, the Intercontinental Exchange, will invest up to $2 billion in Polymarket, making it a $9 billion valuation. This dude probably started with AI, just AI coded a site to take fees off people betting what was going to happen in elections, and then open it up for sports, and then open it up for pretty much anything you want to bet on. And it was evil. It was so evil. Oh my gosh, we got to ban it. Americans can't use it. They can't operate in the U.S. They're going to go directly into jail. Dude even went to jail for a short period of time. Was arrested.
Yeah.
And now he's going to the banks, shoving billions in his pocket. He's like, take that, Elizabeth Warren. Come on, billions. And he goes from that quickly, going from I might be spending a long time in jail for allowing people to gamble without a money transmitter's license from New York, to a billionaire with the New York Stock Exchange taking a big chunk of business. It's the most amazing thing. And so I thought to myself, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Generally, those are the ways we discuss things on the show here. And is it a good? Or let me get rid of this. Join us here. And the good things are these prediction markets are popular. They're very popular for a reason. They're popular because they're easy to use. They can be anonymous. You can bet on whatever things just by using your crypto wallet. And so there's no giving your name to a bookie. You know, the bookie on the corner doesn't know where to come to break your leg if you don't pay. The other bookie, otherwise known as DraftKings, and those guys don't have all your personal info and everything about you, your habits and all this type of stuff. And there's no middleman. It's just you just go on, and a lot of people bet one side, more people bet the other, and the market sorts itself out within our algorithm. That's fairly straightforward, and the website just takes a small fee of each thing. These are all good things. Great things. The fact that institutions are getting in it, is that a great thing? Well, I don't know. This is my example of the gambling market, Pedro, and this is where you kind of go, A while ago, before gambling became ubiquitous and casinos kind of wherever you could possibly think of, I was driving across the United States. And in the state of Wyoming, they had legalized gambling very early on because they have a large Indian reservation, Native American reservations. And they allowed them to have gambling licenses and things like that to raise money and all that type of stuff. Works well. But people's idea of gambling and the whole economy that goes around it is like Atlantic City and, for that matter, Vegas. Glitzy, nice, controlled environments, all things that are good, fun entertainment. When you get to Wyoming, the first thing you see is a gas station. This gas, we'll just use the thing Shell oil or Shell gas or Mobil. And then the sign below it is the pricing, $1.29. And then below that says casino. Casino gambling became so ubiquitous in Wyoming that it got to the gas station level, where everyone was like, and so by it becoming ubiquitous everywhere and down to the gas station level, all I did was go into the gas station, and then there's this little room with these down and out people playing poker in the back and pulling the slots and all this type of stuff. And there's a room about the size of probably the room you're sitting in now, plus your kitchen. And now that's the gambling market in Wyoming. And now with New York Stock Exchange getting in it, and basically everyone on the planet is going to have a prediction market website up soon too, because there's no barrier to entry here except marketing money to get your name out in front of others. The prediction markets will become ubiquitous. Everything will be gambled on, and there'll be little liquidity in the key markets because it'll be spread out over.
But that's not how it works, though. I mean, when you consider the idea of large markets, whenever money is deployed, more money is made. This is how it's done. Like, this is the part I think is missed so much with the people who have the idea of like socialism is good, or the idea like communism is good, because the reality is anytime you restrict money and take it from somebody else purposely, right, to redistribute it, you actually have a slowdown in money. They think money is like a cake, and in reality money is like a fire. And so the more air you give it, the more fuel you give it, i.e. through right to redistribute it, you actually have a slow. Bro, it's in my ear. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. Through capitalism, sorry. So that just through, whenever you hear yourself, the double, I got to get good at that. Whenever I hear it, I got to be able to just sit there and go, okay.
No, I know. I know the problems.
So through capitalism, it allows money to free flow. Now, yes, you're always going to have the top 1% that's going to be filthy rich, that are going to come up with innovation, and they're going to capitalize on it. But the reality is this, is it doesn't matter how it gets going. If you have a free market where people are willing to create markets with it, it doesn't stop. It just causes more money to grow because it acts like a fire. And as you feed that fire with more free market entities, then you have a growth in money supply the correct way, not artificially creating it. So this is a big, big difference. And with this generation that doesn't understand, like, look, you want to make money? Go out, start a business, work hard. You're going to get ahead. Like in America, somebody will like your crap one way or another. Just putting it out there. It's just how it works. And because
that's why Facebook Marketplace exists.
Dude, I know people who make so much money on Facebook Marketplace. Like, we're talking an additional like $80,000 a year just selling candles.
The world needs other people's crap. Hey, when grandma dies, it's got to go somewhere. Might as well go to Facebook Marketplace and get what you can out of it.
But I'm just talking about just simple little things. So I don't think that you're going to have a lack of liquidity in any markets. I think what's going to happen is that money is going to get put. People are going to lose money. That money is going to be put into the casino's hands, and they're going to redistribute it again. Hiring new people, creating new businesses, and then as those businesses flourish, right? Because you have smart dudes who now have more money, who create more business because they want more money, and then they create new jobs, new systems within those jobs. Then all of a sudden, you have a new market. It grows. It's a nascent, small little dude, and then it grows, and then again, that's what happens. I mean, maybe I might be a little bit biased because I am a free market capitalist individual, but there has never been, I mean, the success story of America is literally the quintessential. I mean, the fact that we have homeless people who pee and poop in clean water says more about our wealth and our system of doing things.
It's never happened before in the history of the planet.
ever. Like this is real. Like, this is real talk. And the people who keep embracing this is honestly like Saudi Arabia. Like, they're so good, right? Like, you look at like the UAE. Like,
you're getting off the topic here.
Anyways, yes. Okay. Jump back here.
One of the things that I wanted to point out here with this is that Polymarket saw mainstream adoption as election data was incorporated from Polymarket, was incorporated into Bloomberg's terminal, which almost every professional trading desk and news desk has access to. And now with the New York Stock Exchange link up, all the Polymarket data is going to go out through the Intercontinental Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange's parent financial system, so that the quote on whether or not the quarterback is going to get one sack or two sacks in the Monday Night Football game, will be on the New York Stock Exchange's lists of quotes you can pull up. I'm sure it'll be on TradingView, shortly thereafter, which is amazing. At Wrigley Field, we do this thing we call play mound ball. A lot of stadiums do it. And when the inning ends, everyone's betting when the pitcher or the first baseman or whoever, if there's a ball left in play, they throw it to the mound. Does the ball roll up the mound and stay on the mound? Or does it roll off the mound onto the grass? And people bet. They're like exchanging money real quick. Then the ball rolls off like, ah! Every once in a while, the umpire screws with people, and as the ball's coming to a rest, he stops and places it on the mound, and everyone's like, ah! Now that information is going to be on your financial data terminal. So essentially, the whole world, every financial trading desk has just turned into a sports book. Do you need a license to operate a sports book anymore? No. All you got to do is have a Bloomberg terminal or another financial terminal to get the data. That's all you need.
Yeah,
so
I think also,
amazing.
In addition to that, I'm going to springboard off of that a little, and almost hit a couple points there, is that not only is it just going to allow it to just have more fun, but we're already seeing it. We already saw it with what was happening with many of the crypto central exchanges, right? Like they were already offering betting. They were already offering the ability to buy stocks. I mean, if you look at what's happening with Robinhood and how they're literally tokenizing all the stocks out there. Now, granted, it's a hybrid. We already talked about this happening, but it's not really like, it's still a stock, but it's like an adjacent whole entire ecosystem that correlates. And so when you do it, it's still moving it. It's not really tokenizing it completely. But again, you still have this hybrid system inching towards the blockchain. And what's going to be really interesting is, Polymarket is all on the blockchain. Everything is set up that way. So it's like the beautiful part about a blockchain is that it is literally forever unless the internet goes down, right? So I think that's what's really interesting in all of this is that you're going to have a good view of all these things. So I'm looking forward to it.
Sorry, I've been messing with the comment system here, and it takes up more of the screen when there's a picture involved here. Cut your head off. Fire Chicken says Polymarket type gambling even made it onto the last South Park episode. Eventually, every cultural phenomena makes it onto either South Park or The Simpsons. It's a known fact.
Speaking of Polymarket, 90% their chance of the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates again this month, according to crypto prediction platform Polymarket. So I think that's really interesting. I'm actually even waiting for a full Polymarket real coin coming in and out.
Now with the
stable coin.
With the stock exchange and all that involved, I bet you they'll be hesitant to do that. They don't need to offer a coin now. The guy just got $2 billion in his pocket.
But here's the thing: it's a USD. Like, let me explain. We didn't have a technical Tuesday yesterday, but the scary part in this is this right here, right? Like I keep talking about this. We're about to hit literally this week. This week or next week, we should hit literally 900 billion. And the week after that, or maybe 2 weeks after that, we'll hit $38 trillion. $38 trillion. When this hits, go ahead.
I was saying, you and I were just doing this only a short while ago. We said it's going to hit 37 trillion. Now it's going to hit 38 trillion.
Yeah, every 3 months it picks up another trillion, and it's quickly adding more. It'll be 1.2 trillion, 1.3 trillion every 3 months. You know, and sooner or later it's going to be 2 trillion every 3 months. Like, it isn't slowing down. And so if I'm sitting there and I'm looking at what's actually happening, I would sit there and be like, dude, I don't want it in like USD. What if USD gets, they no longer want it, right? We're already seeing gold in all of the Federal Reserves literally buying gold. That's why gold is $4,000 an ounce. It literally doubled in a year. You know, it's crazy.
Which is amazing. And I am taller here because my monitor, the arm in my monitor is sinking. Very strangely. I don't know why.
Oh, shoot. Thank you.
Wait. We have gone now into the audience chat and Rumble ad read section of the half hour. Pedro, is there some news to talk about here real quick on the audience front?
Yes, the audience has literally dropped a fire chicken.
Fire
chicken has dropped out 10 USD into the algorithm, and that algorithm is going to sit there and say, these guys are dope.
Chuck says, $10 rant to remind the masses of the 10% bonus buy special going on at Fire Chicken. See Telegram for details. Headed to 250K market cap. Fire Chicken has issued a challenge to everybody who wants to see a 250K market cap by a certain time. I don't know what that is. Let me put that message back up here. And so, as always, do your own research, ladies and gentlemen, but go over and visit Fire Chicken and see if it's something that you want to get involved with. Ask the right questions, do your own research, put the development team on the spot and ask them all the hard questions, ladies and gentlemen. That development team would be our own viewer, Chuck Jansen. And so, fair clause, whatever the hell you want to say it. Pedro and I are investors in Fire Chicken, so we have something to benefit from you going over there and doing that, but we're telling you to go do your own research and also maybe even get in on Chuck's buy competition here, or 10% bonus, whatever it is, bring that back. But thank you, Chuck, very much for the $10, as always, showing the algorithm that somebody is willing to take money out of their pocket and put it into Pedro's pocket and Tom's pocket is always a good thing. Helps us out greatly. So thank you very much to the entire Fire Chicken community. Thanks to Fire Chicken for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. But speaking of, I think I have an actual ad to read here. Oop, not yet. Not for a few more minutes. But anyway, well, let's see if I can force the issue here on the ad front here. We've got 11 people watching, so it should work. Let me refresh it. Fresh. Oh, yes. All right, since we're in this segment of the show, and that seems to be working well. Pedro. You know what it's time for? Pedro can't tell because his audio connection just died. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you hadn't noticed, I just refilled my coffee. Why would I refill my coffee, ladies and gentlemen? Because if you still haven't tried 1775 coffee, now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit has just dropped. Only 1,000 units. I think perhaps there are fewer by now. You're getting 3 things out of this, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting the smooth medium roast. You're getting the Vitality mushroom coffee. And you're getting the bold dark roast. I did these out of order. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality mushroom coffee for a clean energy and laser focus. No crash. Nope. Getting all single action, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus you're also getting a gold spoon clip. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. Nope. No. Also, you're getting a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. And a black 1775 tumbler. Getting $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is from the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up right here on Rumble. Wondering if it actually is. Spoiler, it is worth it. So go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on your big screen TV, hold up your cell phone, point it at this QR code that's right next to me here. Pop it like that. Go visit 1775 Coffee and let them know that our audience is interested in their product. At least get your eyeballs on it to help Pedro and I out. Also, if you're in the chat section or in the comment section, there'll be a link there. It says learn more about 1775 Coffee. And as always, if you're watching on the replay, in the description down below, there will be a link to this spectacular deal. Thank you to 1775coffee.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. I see Pedro's still working on his audio over there. Let's see, where are we in the show here? Second half hour continued. Got a few minutes left here. Let me stop that blinking here for everybody. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the man in the box next to me is trying to get his internet connection to work here. One of the things that I mentioned in the show was early in the show we had the whole segment about Polymarket, which I found, I gotta say, I found very interesting. Oh, hold on, I missed this comment from Fire Chicken. Massive team, come talk to all my personalities. Huge team. Hey, here's that crazy looking guy that we saw yesterday here, or 2 days ago. He's like that guy in what movie was it, Top Secret, or one of those comedy movies where they had the super fisheye lenses. Reminds me of that. Anyway, let's bring up some of the other news that I had to talk about. We're talking about Polymarket and the growth of gambling and sports betting. Essentially, what's going on is money's being taken away from the DraftKings community, and they're not happy about it. They're not happy about it. They're actually lobbying against it in Washington, D.C., that prediction markets should even exist. But it's too late. That cat is out of the bag, especially if the Trump family is invested in it. So that cat's not going to be put back in the bag, at least during the next couple of years. And of course, once it gets institutionalized, then it will just keep going on and on and on and on. But here you can see in Polymarket, when will the government shutdown end? The people that had guessed October 10th through 14th right now they were in the majority only a few days ago. Let's see, let's bring this up. There'll be more dates here. Yeah, 83%, 86%, it just changed, are saying that it's going to be after the 15th. But more importantly, who's going to win the World Series? Let's go to sports here. Let's see, MLB, the games, Wednesday, let's see, all the different games. No, I thought I saw the World Series up there a few minutes ago. Anyway, the Chicago Cubs. This is strange. The Chicago Cubs have a 50-50 chance at winning this next game against the Brewers. They're already down 2-0. Brewers need one game to win. Cubs need 3. That's happened before not in the Cubs' favor. Cubs got beat by the Marlins in 2007, the famous Steve Bartman game. Cubs were up, and then the Marlins came back and swept them and went on to the World Series and left the Cubs home crying. Anyway, enough about Polymarket. Hopefully the algorithms will have figured that one out for us and got rolling. One of the things that I was going to discuss with Pedro, but he's working on his internet connection here. If you're talking to me, Pedro, I can't hear you. Oh, he's on the phone. Okay. Anyway, the EU is getting ready to move up to voting in the European Commission or European Parliament, whatever it is. a proposal that no matter what you uploaded, a picture, if you wanted to send your wife a picture of your dog, it still had to go through central scanners for copyright, for child porn, for all that type of stuff. Even if, sending pictures, family pictures back and forth, sending pictures to your significant other, wink, 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 all had to go through, we're going to have to go through a central government computer or provider of a service, which would only be like Google or AI or something like that.
Can you hear me?
And they insisted there would be privacy controls and all that type of stuff.
Can you hear me?
And that even, I got you, Pedro. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yep.
cool.
Just 1 second here. Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is because they said it would apply to crypto, because people, if you remember the Bitcoin ordinals thing, and in the data blocks, images can be uploaded in there. In certain size data blocks, or pointers to images, that would be different. But in some blocks, you can upload the code to generate the image, that you would even have to scan what you're uploading in crypto. And that, fortunately, at least one of the major EU governments said, no, we can't just keep doing this. We can't scan everything we do, because they say, oh, it's for the kids, to save the kids. And so thankfully, the German government said, no, we're not doing this. The EU is not going to. The EU tends to take every little policy thing, and the worst ideas get to the top quickly. It's very strange how that happens. And so they were going to force everyone to scan everything they upload to the internet, including encrypted apps. If you're using Signal or using WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Snapchat, TikTok, all these things that you might use, Instagram, which you would message to each other, never mind just upload into the feed, you would have to get it pre-scanned before it posted, before the other party received it, to see if it was offending content. The article comes back to say it still might come back, even after the Germans shut it down. Disgusting, just disgusting. Anyway, I thought that was a pertinent news article because Go ahead, Pedro.
The other thing is, a lot of people that correlates with that is literally how the UK is sitting there and demanding for digital ID, that you won't be able to buy anything, you won't even be able to work, so that they can kind of quelch the immigrant population of working. And I just found it was a little too authoritarian of literally saying, hey, you have to have a digital ID to work. And you can't even buy food without it, and your bank accounts will be shut down if you don't have this. And I thought that was really kind of scary that they're pushing this in the UK.
Yeah, and I did too, and even Striking Jr. brought it to my attention. It's like, this isn't right. The government shouldn't be able to track everything you do. And I said, well, Palantir and all these other companies track everything you do. And Facebook, whether you use Facebook or not, tracks half the stuff on the internet. And I said, plus, if you Striking Jr., like many Americans, you have a driver's license and you have a U.S. passport. I said, both of those are essentially digital IDs now. You don't even need your passport anymore. You show up at customs and they just scan your face, and your passport's on file, linked to your profile. When I go across the border to Canada, we just hold up our Nexus cards. You don't even use your passport. And all that's digital now. And unfortunately, the Obama administration, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but it depends on how you look at this. The Obama administration, prior to that, every company had to do what's called an E-Verify for new employees to make sure that they had legal status to work in the United States. Obama just quietly erased that so illegal aliens could come in and work. So companies, I used to have to do that. You'd have to call a number, just enter social security information. If you did it on the web, it had their picture, make sure it was real. And so essentially, your driver's license and your passport were a digital ID. And now that, like the Brits, they want to have another one that if I was reading about it correctly, in Pedro, you said you have to use it for everything, but you actually have to use it to do anything. Like, you have to use it to refill your bus pass. You have to use it when you're interacting with your bank. You have to use, everything. They essentially would track in a single database everything the entire population does. And as they say, that ain't right. No.
There's a big difference. That's the scary part behind all of it, is that there would be no freedom. You would be tracked, and if you stepped out of line, if something happened, this is where I feel like it's leading. Whereas if you step out of line, I mean, we saw when we were getting into crypto, we all had friends of ours who literally got debanked, pushed out.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, and so this is where, as crypto, you have a DeFi system, and thank God there's a DeFi system, right? So if you do get pushed out, if you do something that the authorities in the UK don't like, you can at least sit there and say, I've got crypto, let me get out of here, right? Whether that's on a ship that goes to America, right? Or I'm just being honest, right? Like, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it wouldn't be crazy if all of a sudden now we start to. Have you seen that movie or the show, The Handmaids?
No, I've never watched that one, The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. Basically, America gets super authoritarian and like this ultra like cultic right wing craziness happens, right? And but there's this point where like people are literally trying to flee America to get into Canada or go to Mexico, right? Because it was just crazy. Wouldn't it be nuts if freaking people are fleeing the UK, come to America again because it's so authoritarian? That would be crazy.
Wouldn't put it past them. And here in Canada, they want the Online Harms Act wants to essentially do the same thing, and you can go to jail for things that you might say, or you might say. That's the government determined that you might say things against Hamas and terrorists, or against people that cut their dicks off. They're like, you might say that. It's a good likelihood. So they can instruct all the internet companies in the country to not give you service. Even if you're a kid, they could say the whole family has to be out, meaning that you're debanked because banking's all internet now. You're de-telephoned because your telephone is through your internet now. All this type of stuff. Anyway, we could talk about that all day and do that, but it's time, as they say, for the old commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro and I will be with you back in a few moments here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for putting up with us there. And once again, Pedro's audio feed craps out in the middle of the show. I don't know what's going on with that feed. I think the certain foreign governments in Asia have it out for him. But anyway,
Hey, can you hear me?
yes, we can, Pedro.
Okay.
Crypto Mike says, can slightly hear you guys. Yeah, we noticed that too. It was like we were hearing the stream in the background, but I don't think you could hear our behind-the-scenes conversations or me taking a piss. At least, oh, I can hear it in the background now too. I can hear the music from the commercial playing. Question is, where is it coming from?
You must be getting it from. Did you open up an app or an inbound or not inbound input?
Yeah, you know what? It's not coming from you because I just turned you off in my ear, and it's not coming from you. So where is it? Oh, I see where it's coming from. Yep. No, it was I had the I had my feed monitor of the live stream open, not of our behind the scenes microphone, so you didn't hear me. No one heard me pissing. Anyway, we're back up and everything is normal now. Let's load the yeah up here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last half hour of the show today. We have to be out of here at 1:30 today for some real world stuff. Not, you know what? I should stop saying that. Before, when we started this, you know, it was like everyone had their crypto deal and then their in real life stuff. Now, crypto can't be more in real life now. I mean, the President of the United States is making billions of dollars from it. The New York Stock Exchange is investing massively $2 billion in crypto betting. And so we can't possibly say anymore that, you know, in real life, this is what's going on, because this isn't, you know, 4 years ago, 8 years ago for sure. But now this is the real life here. My ticker stopped again. Not that ticker, not my heart, just scrolling ticker. But anyway, so as they say, other jobs, other sources of income require my time, along with Mrs. Striking's, and so the show will be off at 1:30 today. But we'll be back tomorrow for the full show as well. Pedro's here for comments only this part of the show because his internet connection is wonky, as they say. Pedro, I do have some other news stories that probably take up a few minutes of our time here that I wanted to talk about. One of which was, let me bring this back up. Everything's operating a little slow again. Once again, the Aster dominance here is moving and grooving, as they say. The picture, it's behind Pedro and I's head, but this blue area represents the perpetual's share of decentralized exchanges that the newly formed or newly pumped Aster is gained, and it's still dominating. It's still taking the business away from Hype. As you can see, this green area over here, that was Hype dominating until CZ piped up about Aster, and then poof, Aster took over. Amazingly, and it's caused Pedro, BNB has gone bonkers. The volume on the chain is bonkers. Crypto Mike is probably a millionaire now. He's going to have to move from the small town outside of Winnipeg into a big fat penthouse condo in downtown Winnipeg. You know, those huge penthouses in Winnipeg on the 4th floor. And but BNB going crazy. I think I have a story about that too. Here. No, this is about Bitcoin ETFs hauling in money again. Billions flowing back into that. Let me find, see if I can find my BNB article. Yeah, it looks like it was refreshed automatically. Which one is this? Oh no, here it is. BNB chain versus Solana. Why BNB is pulling ahead in 2025, and how Aster accelerated this shift. I think this is probably an AI written article. But it talks about how BNB chain went from, huge 4 years ago to mediocre. There's lots of new people on the block, lots of new girls to flirt at, otherwise known as Solana and Cardano and all these things. And then all of a sudden, with CZ kind of coming back on the marketing trail, he got out of jail. He kind of laid low for a while, just kind of caught up with his family, and then he said, "All right, let's get back to work here. I only have a few $1 billion. I need many more billions." And you saw BNB. Pedro and I, we brought this up a couple of times. We brought it up a couple of times talking about. I sat here and go, yeah, BNB's pumping, but I can't figure out why. I couldn't grasp my arms around why it was. And this was before Aster started pumping and driving the volume. But the volume had been going up on BNB, and then the price started rocking and rolling. All of a sudden, it's at 600, it's at 700, it's at 800, and it was at like 850, and you came out and just said, it's just going to be at 1,000 here in a week. And I think it was 2 weeks later, it was at 1,000. And I was just like, and that's when Aster exploded.
That was the part that was so crazy. It's like, where was it coming? And it wasn't necessarily on chain. I mean, yeah, we started seeing meme coins come back. We started seeing projects come back, but we didn't know necessarily where. So it's interesting I want to throw this out. Who else did he tell who kept their mouth shut?
Right, exactly. These secrets, it's impossible to hold them, close. Like, hey, you're going to get rich. Just do this. You're going to tell your best buddy, dude, man, you and I got a party after we get rich, so do this. And then he's going to tell his best buddy, his buddy. Next thing you know, you and I get the phone call like 6 months later, and we're exit liquidity. But
but people kept their mouth shut. Like it wasn't even like nobody knew. No DJs knew. Nobody knew. It was Shogun, when he was literally glued to CZ's. Like, anytime CZ would say something, Shogun would be like, oh, he would retweet it. And I remember him retweeting all this stuff, and I didn't pay attention to it. And he found Aster. I think they bought in at 40 cents, 40 cents, right? It was like a slow, comparative to, like, let's say the Trump coin, right? Like, it took 5 days before it really hit $1 billion market cap. But where do you think the real volume? Because people are saying there's a lot of wash trading going in and leaving. Like, it's just, they're just trying to fake the funk here. But I was listening to one KOL, and she was like, even if half of it is wash trading, it's still a huge amount of volume coming in and out. So it's not like, even if you had half of it, it's still crazy.
Totally. I totally agree with you on that. Pedro, I got the BNB chart up here and a price. BNB is at $1,300. $1,300. Got a market cap now of 181 billion. Well, I gotta adjust my graphics here. The new great graphics machine has very small text. It's like you reading before you got the dotted glasses. But $72 billion. Is that right? No, I'm sorry, $7 billion in 24-hour trading, which is amazing. But I didn't realize that it had blown past. It just ripped right by 1,000 and went up another 30% to 1,300. It hit a high of 1,334 the other day. I should say yesterday at 9 o'clock in the evening. And Asia pumped it. London dumped it off. And then it's starting a little consolidation right now. That's so amazing. It's just... I can't even explain it. Pedro, just as you know, I'm going to skip the next Rumble ad read on the clock and just let it roll into the next segment. But BNB trading 1304.86. But also in my ear, Pedro, I've got the BTC alarm going off, and BTC is starting a road back up here. Here, let me.
Give me one second. I'm gonna try to
BTC.
reset my my internet because nothing's working, so I actually have to go reset it. I'll be back. Sorry about
BTC is absolutely just blasting through.
Crushing. Dude, it is flying. Like,
Right, and it did once again. It's like I said, this does it multiple times a day. This trading model doesn't always work out as well as this, but you can see where I talked about it, how it blasted up through the 24-hour. I'm sorry, the 200 period moving average. This is a 1 minute chart. You see it did it that last time it did it. It was at 3 p.m. Let's see if I can. Here it was at 10 a.m. this morning, dropped back down, big liquidity sweep. At 10 a.m. this morning, these liquidity sweeps are programmed in, and they're just golden to make money. When you see this liquidity sweep here, boom, it's gonna reverse itself. Usually it comes up a little bit and then retraces to the 786 and then launches. But here it came above the 200 period moving average. The 8 and the 21 did too. Would have made a little bit of money, but this one kind of failed if you didn't. If you wanted a longer term trade, drop back down. But here, when this happens, if it doesn't drop down and keep losing, when it kind of starts following the 200 period moving average, it's going to come back up above it, and it did it again here. And what a pump! If you had gotten in on this trade here, which I would have had I had been trading today, price action comes up above the 200 period moving average. The 8 period moving average does, and the 21 period does. 21 period clicks the price action here. This is the most conservative spot to get in here, according to back testing done by Crypto Lifer. And then you're golden here. And look at what happened. Absolutely rocket shipped up from 122,600 or so to 123.8. Another 1,200 point gain on the 221 on the 1 minute. But you know what? While we're doing that, let's just go look. Let's refresh the price there. 123.6, still moving and grooving. Let's look at the 5 minute chart. See if the 5 minute chart is playing out in this as well. Look, it happened in the 5 minute chart here as well. This is what I like to see. This really confirms the move up for you short term traders. We were talking about the 1 minute one. Here's the 5 minute one. Also, at 10 a.m. launched up across the its 200 period moving average. Would have got in this trade. Would have stayed in this trade. I would have sold as I came back down here. I would have moved my stops up and it would have sold me out here. But if you'd stayed in it, bada bing, bada boom, all the way back up. This little liquidity sweep here would have taken out. That was the 10 a.m. liquidity sweep. That would have taken out everybody that was in this trade if you'd got in it here. It didn't sell when you're in profits because everybody that does this keeps their stop just under the 200 period moving average if it's going up like that. But anyway, it came back up and crossed it again here. Got the confirmation from the 8 and the 21, and look at that rocket ship. So you had two periods confirmed. Not confirmed it, but followed the model. And in fact, here the 15 minute did too, and that's rare. It doesn't do that a lot. Usually these things fizzle out long before 3 periods do it. As you can see, the price action here came back up above it, above the 200 period moving average. 8 is coming up. It's not really fully confirmed yet. I like to see the 21 period, that orange line, come up and do it here before it starts to travel down again. And now, of course, let's go to the 1 hour and see how close that is to doing it too. All right, so the 1 hour chart's completely different. Pedro, yesterday I was doing. You should be proud of me here. Yesterday I was doing things that you like to do. I was drawing the little loops under the higher lows and the higher highs, in which I drew it out and talking about the trend going up, and not 10 minutes later, the market went bam.
You were looking at. I see you're looking at the 1 minute though, so you would have missed the telltale signs of it sell off.
And this is the 1 hour chart. This is 1 hour chart.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well then, yeah. breaking levels there. That once you saw the break of the oh man, is it still that storming that hard over there?
BTC is storming that hard here, Pedro.
Oh, that's your system. That's not your actual storm going in your house, correct?
Correct. That's the fiat leaks 24-hour high or low symbol, thunderstorm or earthquake. Thunderstorm, lightning, earthquake, sounds, that type of stuff.
Got it. All right. Well, it's interesting to sit there and see that it did pull back to that 100-day, or excuse me, the 100 or the 200 period moving average sitting there on the hour. What's interesting is that it came down almost close to this demand zone, the daily demand zone here, barely almost hitting it, and then seeing it go back up, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. I think what's interesting is when you look at BNB, and it's just going, like I said, I've talked about an 1800 BNB. I know people thought I was crazy, but at the beginning of the year, we were going over many of these trades saying, all right, guys, I expected to blow through, once it gets over that 600, it was about right here, right? I said get to that 600. We want to see at least get to that 1300, but really it's that 1800 mark that I'm really looking at for BNB in this bull cycle. Okay. The same sense, we've talked about Ethereum. Ethereum is finally starting to get going and breaking out. Once it really breaks out to the upside, I really expect us to get all the way up to a 13,000 Ethereum, just straight up. Like we'll see it get going, it'll start to climb, and it just starts to pop. XRP, same thing. This was all at the beginning of the year, right? We talked about XRP getting all the way up to that $9 mark, right? Which was up here, which is where my target is. Tron, we talked about Tron getting all the way up TRX to that $10, $11 area. Doge, I know we haven't heard much about Doge, but I think we'll see the money pull out of crypto or out of Bitcoin, and we'll see it cycle right into a lot of these other tokens. Speaking of tokens and coins, we never shouted out, but look at freaking talking about getting to all-time highs again. Look at Fire Chicken. Fire Chicken has been just strong, man. They have been pumping hardcore. They literally had the sell-off and just been climbing up. They're getting close to their all-time highs again, which is at 286,000. And I expect it to go even, like I said, that 500,000 to $1 million market cap. They've got Chuck has got a great business plan. He's doing a lot of stuff here. So I want to shout out to the community over at Fire Chicken. You guys rock the mic. Appreciate every one of you guys. And keep going. Keep going what you guys are doing. I'm looking forward to the day when I can sit there and say you guys hit 500,000 to $1 million market cap, which will be cool. Alrighty then.
Yeah, as I'm covering Fire Chicken here, I noticed that my new great graphics machine doesn't take into account meme coin pricing levels, with more decimal places than. What's the price that's trading at on your system there?
Oh, give me 1 second. I believe it is 302.
Oh, okay, I got the price right, just the market cap is not showing up, so now I know what to work on. Oh, damn. That's the BTC machine there. 123.9 going up again. Anyway, Pedro, as they say, it is that time. We need to get rolling. I've got a conference call that need to be on. Let's load the kick tracks and start playing that. Where did it go? There it is. Sorry to cut everyone off early. Pedro and I can go at this all day, as everyone knows here, ladies and gentlemen. But not today. Let me turn that music down just a little bit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, got to go today. We'll be back tomorrow. Bring all your friends, bring your parents, bring your kids, bring everyone here. We're trying to grow this channel. We need more followers. We'd like more followers. We're going to get them one way or another. BTC cracking through 124 again here. A lot of shorts probably just got stopped out. Big squeeze just happened. Now what the next squeeze is going to be us squeezing into our pants after we get fat with profits here from learning how to trade on DYOR Live. Anyway, on behalf of Pedro Garcia, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media world. So glad to have hosted this show once again. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bad channel, same bad time. We'll see you.